John D. Rockefeller, born John Davidson Rockefeller, was an American industrialist and philanthropist who founded the Standard Oil Company, which controlled the oil industry and was the first big commercial trust in the United States. John D. Rockefeller was born on July 8, 1839, in Richford, New York, and died on May 23, 1937, in Ormond Beach, Florida. The beginning. Rockefeller was the eldest son and second of 6 children born to snake oil salesman and traveling physician William Avery Rockefeller and Eliza Davison Rockefeller. He relocated to Moravia, New York, with his family, and then to Oswego, New York, in 1851, where he attended Oswego Academy. In 1853, the family moved to Strongsville, Ohio, and 6 years later, after attending and then dropping out of Cleveland Central High School, taking a single business class at Folsom Mercantile College, and working as a bookkeeper. Rockefeller established his first business, a commission business dealing in hay, grain, meats, and other goods. Sensing the commercial potential of Western Pennsylvania's rising oil output in the early 1860s, he erected his first oil refinery near Cleveland in 1863. Within 2 years, it had become the largest refinery in the area, and Rockefeller committed himself entirely to the oil industry. The outcoming. In 1870, Rockefeller and a few friends, including American businessman Henry M. Flagler, established the Standard Oil Company. Standard flourished as a result of Rockefeller's emphasis on efficient operations, and it proceeded to buy out its competitors until, by 1872, it owned virtually all of Cleveland's refineries. Because of this, the firm was able to negotiate preferential pricing with railways for its oil shipments. It bought pipelines and terminals, bought competitor refineries in other locations, and aggressively attempted to extend its markets in the United States and internationally. In 1881, Rockefeller and his friends established a board of 9 trustees to oversee the shares of Standard of Ohio and its affiliates in other states, with Rockefeller at the helm. They therefore created the first significant trust in the United States and established a template of structure for future monopolies. Standard Oil established a near monopoly on the oil industry by 1882. The aggressive competitive practices of Standard Oil, which many saw as ruthless, and growing public hostility towards monopolies, of which Standard was the most well-known, prompted some industrialized states to enact anti-monopoly legislation, which led to the passage of the Sherman Antitrust Act by the United States Congress in 1890. The Ohio Supreme Court ruled in 1892 that the Standard Oil Trust constituted a monopoly in violation of an Ohio law that prohibited monopolies. Rockefeller avoided the ruling by dissolving the trust and moving its assets to corporations in other states with interlocking directorates, so that the activities of the related firms were controlled by the same 9 persons. In 1899, these firms were reorganized into a holding corporation, Standard Oil Company, which lasted until 1911. When the United States Supreme Court ruled that it was in breach of the Sherman Antitrust Act and hence unlawful, giving Standard Oil a dubious reputation. The success. As a devout Baptist, Rockefeller committed himself progressively to charities and benevolence during the 1890s. From 1897, he devoted himself entirely to charity. He made it feasible for the University of Chicago to be founded in 1892 by donating around $35 million to the foundation. He co-founded important charitable institutions with his son, John D. Rockefeller, Jr., including the Rockefeller Institute for Medical Research, later renamed Rockefeller University, in New York City, the General Education Board, and the Rockefeller Foundation. During his lifetime, Rockefeller gave away more than $500 million. By the time he died in 1937, long before his 98th birthday, from a heart attack, John D. Rockefeller had amassed an impressive net worth of $418 billion, making him the richest man in U.S. history.
After oil is superheated, it becomes vapor. The vapor is fed into the distillation fuels. Gasoline, for example, is blended to achieve octane standards, creating the grades of gasoline you see at the pump: regular, mid-grade, and premium, that are necessary to meet the needs of specific engine types. Treating is a process used to produce cleaner gasoline, which helps protect both the environment and our health. Gasoline molecules contain impurities like sulfur that can be removed. When the molecules are heated and come in contact with a special catalyst, a chemical reaction occurs that strips the sulfur away.